Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Broke on advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the decks, you're not bullish enough. Traded in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Joggle beat. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity. Flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gon' end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain Revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, change. Yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the spec. Ordinal's the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin, crypto ecosystems. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We are live for the OnChain Hour, and this one is going to be amazing, guys, because I called it. Last week, I said we are about to enter a 10-week bull market. And, guys, last week was week 1. We officially entered week 2. But you might say, hey, Shizzy, the prices didn't go up last week. How are we in a bull market? What happens first is sentiment has to change. People are coming back. My posts are getting more likes. People are paying more attention in crypto. People are paying more attention to assets. And you're kind of seeing the fruit of that labor coming in the price action this morning. You're seeing people finally buying. You're seeing Michael Saylor buy again. Guys, we are about to enter the most bullish period of this year so far. This might be, a setup for fall, but I truly believe the next 10 weeks are going to be very bullish. We're going to get into the first week of June, but guys, make sure you're taking profits. Summers are never really extremely bullish. You might have a little bit of bullish trend in the summer, but guys, as we enter the end of May, it might be a good idea to sell in May and go away. But we have a lot of time in between now and then, a lot of opportunity to make money between now and then. And we're going to walk you guys through exactly what we mean. But this actually might be a bear trap. I don't think so, but other people on Twitter are saying so. We're going to talk about that as well. So I truly believe we're in it, but it's always good to look at the other side of the coin as well, right? And that's what we're going to do today. But without further ado, I'm bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yago B. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
How was your weekend, man? How you feeling?
Weekend was great. Got to relax. Got to eat some really good food. I went and I tried something I've never tried in my life. I tried chicken feet on Friday, so that was interesting. Yeah. It was something that I wanted to try. My wife is Chinese, number one, but it's a popular dish in the Chinese culture. But I've never tried it, and I was talking to some of those BitDog community members and said I would try it. So that was awesome. And got to relax this weekend. Had a little a couple drinks and stuff and chilled, and it was fun to relax and have some downtime and get your mind away a little bit. And then Sunday came around. We got our meetings on Sunday, and it feels good though. The energy seems to be coming back, at least with Bitcoin, starting to kick things off here.
Yeah, 100%. And like we just kind of got into builder mode, founders mode, I guess you would say, right? We're building something really cool. So it was really cool to talk about that yesterday and really get the ground working underneath that. So stay tuned for that, guys. But I promise you, Ordinal Revolution pass holders and members will you guys will make out if we build anything that actually is sustainable, right? So let's make sure it's sustainable first. But it should be good for pass holders and Ordinal Revolution YouTube members. We did get a new member today. I want to shout out the newest member to the Ordinal Revolutionaries, or the OnChain Revolutionaries. Sorry. But how do you say this?
Poisha? I'm
I'll let
guessing.
you
Or Poida? I guess.
Poida.
Maybe. I don't know.
Welcome to the OnChain Revolutionaries. Thank you so much for being a part of that. We'll be actually going to do a members video coming up probably this week, so look out for that. Should be good. We have some alpha for that as well. So without further ado, kind of get on the show here. Are we in a bull run, or is this a bull trap? So is it a bull trap? Bears are posting hard, many tweets per minute, trying to make the FUD stick, but it's not sticking. Bitcoin's up, Sailor's buying. Bull trap or bull run here?
Ooh, it's tough, right? I don't like to claim any side until we get more confirmation, right? And we just don't have that yet. The only confirmation that we have is that Bitcoin seems to be wanting to knock on the door of 90K, or at least one ahead to that point. And so I need a little bit more, confirmation before I can confirm that, we are actually in a run here. But a lot of catalysts have, as I've been saying the past week, a lot of catalysts are lined up right now. M2 money supply, Fed easing up, aggressively hinting that they're going towards quantitative easing, right? We do have the April 2nd date of kind of getting past like the tariffs, but I will say there was a comment or statement released that only retaliatory tariffs is what they're going to be going. It's not going to be a blanketed type of situation. So it should be interesting. But once we move past that date, I think it's going to feel better for everybody.
Yeah, 100%. If someone has a 15% tariff against us, we're putting a 15% tariff against them. It's only fair, right? So I don't think the big deal, but they can go to zero, and then they go to zero, right? So it's up to that country to do so. I mean, that's all it really comes down to. We'll see what happens. I got a feeling the worst case scenario is kicking the can down the road and saying May 1st, June 1st. I don't want to see that. I want to get behind us. Markets are forward looking, which means markets look in the future, not the past. So if it already happened, as long as we're not headed to a recession, which I doubt we're going to, we should be fine, and we should actually get along with this bull market. I don't think it's a bull trap at all. I think the bears are getting killed right now, and I think they will continue to get killed until it's going to take them 2 to 3 weeks to realize it themselves, because bears are always the the last guys to, oh crap, we're in a bull market, and by that time normally it's over. So but I think that we're about to enter this 10-week bull market, and I think we've already entered. I think this is week 2.
Yeah. I think they're just playing off of the PTSD. I think that a lot of the bullish people are probably going through, including myself right now. And that's why I said I need a little bit further confirmation, but they're good at playing on those of emotional roller coasters.
100%. Michael Saylor, strategy acquires 6,900 Bitcoin, 6,911 Bitcoin worth $58 million at an average price of 84,529. Sailor bought the dip, it looks like. So strategy now owns 2.4% of the entire Bitcoin supply. 500,000 worth 42. So we do know this is not including the lost Bitcoin, the Bitcoin that's sitting in Satoshi's wallet. So if you could probably say that Sailor owns between 5 and 6% of the Bitcoin that actually is in circulation.
Yeah, it's going to make them very formidable, in my opinion. Once you get to that point of owning that much Bitcoin, I just strategy is going to be around forever, in my opinion, right? And so this is huge for them, and I'm sure their shareholders are very, very happy for what that risky but strong decision that he made a couple years back. So.
Yeah, they're all gonna make out like bandits. I think Strategy is gonna be the #1 company in the world, forever, at some point, as long as they don't sell that Bitcoin. I think, Michael Saylor made a bet, and, he was right. I mean, we were all right. So, it's one of those things where, life's all about decisions and consequences, and he's gonna reap the consequences of his decision that he made 4 years ago.
Yeah, and they're never gonna be denied any type of loan. They're never gonna be denied
No.
they're gonna be, like, constantly shopped to get loans and stuff like that because of
Yeah.
how much collateral they're gonna have in the future, and it's gonna be crazy, to do that, right? And then now you have, like, kinda their little brother in Japan, Metaplanet, following
Yeah.
that same strategy, and, they'll probably be number 2 eventually with that, so
100%. Yeah, but Metaplanet is definitely following that strategy to a T. They actually hired a bunch of Bitcoiners as well on the board, which is pretty insane. They got that dude Dylan St. Clair or something like that,
Oh,
and then
wow. That's a
yeah, a couple
huge
other.
huge win
Yeah,
for him too, though.
yeah, huge win for him. I mean, he's on the board of directors of a company that's buying Bitcoin every day. So he's I think he's handling the Bitcoin side of things. So
Yeah.
well, he's on the board, so he's helping make this
Advise,
But
consult,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes, the guy who predicted the downfall from 108 to 70 something. BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes predicts Bitcoin will hit 110K before retesting 76K. So he's not saying that we're going to go on from here, right? But he's claiming the Fed is switching from QT to QE. And this is the actual tweet from him here. I can share it on my screen. So he's basically saying, after tariffs don't matter because transitory inflation, J-Powell told me so. I'll expound on that in my next essay. That's the TLDR for your TikTok peanut brain. So he insults you after telling you we're going to hit 110,000, back down to 76K. No. I don't think we'll ever see 76K again. I think we actually roll up to 120, 140 before a nice setback back down to 110. That's just what I'm estimating for the next 10 weeks. But he could be right as well.
Yeah, there were some actual people that were giving him a hard time because they were like, "You said it would go to 70 exactly," and now I think it went to 74. I think it touched that 74, but I think that's close enough.
Yeah.
If you're expecting people to be right that right to the dollar, I think that that's not realistic. And so, the fact that he's bullish again is bullish in itself because when he was bearish, it did retrace, right? And so doesn't mean that he's going to be right for sure, but he does seem to have a gauge on the current market sentiment. And so let's say it gets to like 102. I think people would be happy with that. You know what I mean? For now, at least. And so this is bullish in my opinion. But also, doesn't mean that he's going to be guaranteed to be right. But it does seem like the sentiment is starting to swing, and what he is saying about what the Fed is thinking here is correct.
Yeah, I agree. And you got to remember too, he's also an influencer, right? He's someone who influences the markets a little bit. So if he tells you 70, he's buying at 74, right? Because he wants you to not buy it. He wants you to buy it, after him, right? So he's not going to tell you his targets. He's going to actually go beyond his targets. So to me, this is telling me that, 76, 75 was his target. That's kind of when he bought, but he's going to tell you 70 because he wants you to think that's going to go lower, and he wants to make sure he's buying at that low point. And then he's telling you 110, which makes me think that he's going to sell at 105, 102, right? Because that's just, he's not going to give you his direct targets. He's going to be he's a trader. He wants to trade in that range. And hopefully we can, when he does sell at 105, we can just send it to 140 and then influence him to buy higher. And then we go to 170. So I think that would be the ultimate goal.
Yeah, but I mean, like, regardless, no one can get it perfect on the tee. You know what I mean? Right on the dot. So it's whether he truly believed in his heart that it was going to go to only 74 or whatever. I don't think that either. But you are right that he would purchase, whenever it's close, because to them it doesn't matter at that point. It's like, okay, this is close enough. It's stupid to not starting to get position here.
And for someone like him, he probably had a buy order at 78. Buy order at 76, buy order at 74, buy order at 70, and a buy order at 68, right? And then he probably has sell orders sitting at 101, 105, 108, 120, right? So for him, he's a trader, right? BitMEX is the trading facility. It's a DEX, right? Or it's a centralized exchange. So he's a trader, and this is what he does. So
Yep.
but
There's
he's
a
very
comment
influential.
there was a
Yeah.
comment right here by Dumbo. Appreciate your comment here. He says he corrected later that he meant that 110K then up, not 110K and then 76K, because that sounded weird to me
Okay.
too. You know what I mean? Like saying that like he thought it was going to come right back to,
Well, I mean,
below.
he has it right here. This is the actual
Yeah,
tweet
yeah, he
before it reached that
corrected it later.
76.
He corrected
Okay,
it later is what they're saying.
I
So
got you. Awesome.
so
Thank you so much.
basically
Yeah,
he thinks the low is in, according to him.
sounds good to me. All right. So Max Kaiser, he says breaking. The IMF just recognized Bitcoin as a de facto digital gold. Right after that, IMF put out a statement. They say IMF says digitalization has created new financial services, products, and digital assets designed to be used as a means of payment or act as store of value. So the IMF is now officially bullish on Bitcoin. They're basically categorizing Bitcoin with gold. We knew the IMF has plenty of gold, probably has been purchasing Bitcoin as they've been talking shit about it. The IMF is the ones who want El Salvador to stop buying Bitcoin for some odd reason. El Salvador, I don't know if they've stopped or not, but the IMF is one of the biggest criminal organizations, in my opinion. I think what they do to some of these smaller countries, they force loans on them, and then they force their agenda when they can't pay those loans. So I think these people are complete scumbags, but they rule the world, and there's nothing we can do about it. But the fact that they are saying Bitcoin is digital gold, I mean, it is, right? So it's just another company who is basically legitimizing Bitcoin.
Yeah, and this is really, really bullish in my opinion for Bitcoin, because they are going to treat it as gold, right? So
Yeah.
I think the whole strategy with negotiating with El Salvador to make them not make Bitcoin like so available to their everyday citizens is more of not wanting to see other small countries that are struggling repeat that blueprint, because then the IMF is not, that's a big part of their business, right?
Yeah.
Is to bail out countries and stuff. So but I agree with you, this is they're on board. So even if we don't love how they act in terms of an ethical standpoint, it is bullish for the acquiring Bitcoin. So
Yeah, 100%. And the fact that potentially, because this is a payments company as well, right? They issue payments and they receive, right? So potentially they could do these payments in Bitcoin, because it's a lot easier than having to transfer from bank to bank. I mean, Bitcoin payment can easily be received in a matter of 10 minutes, sometimes an hour, depending on the block, right? But sometimes a few minutes as well. So it does happen. But yeah, so I think potentially they might be using Bitcoin as maybe payments in the future, but we'll see. I mean, we're down a long way from that, but potentially. All right, next thing here, big gold bug, billionaire Ray Dalio, someone who I think we both respect to the fullest here. He said, "I own some Bitcoin. It's an effective portfolio diversifier." This is the first time he's he came out and he said that he owns Bitcoin. A lot of times he says, "I have some digital assets," but he's never said Bitcoin by name. And he's always been somebody who's a proponent of gold. He's always somebody who's hedged his portfolio using gold. But now he's adding Bitcoin to his portfolio and openly saying it as well.
And he's never been like I don't think he's been anti-Bitcoin, or he hasn't been super vocal about it. And that's the thing I like about Ray Dalio, is that he is very studied on the history, of world domination and all that stuff with currencies and everything as well. But he never closes his mind, and that's why, like, I'm not shocked here, because he for him, he just needs to see enough like evidence to where, okay, he crossed the line. Now he's in. And so this is a really bullish thing, because I, like you mentioned, I respect his opinion a ton. The guy's a historian, but not only just a regular historian. He focuses in on, like I said, past economies and global leaders in terms of countries and downfalls and all that stuff. So he has a lot of knowledge. For him to finally come over is a big win for Bitcoin.
Yeah. And I heard someone say a long time ago, I think it was Raoul Pal. He said first Dalio has to come in the crypto, and then Buffett will come in the crypto. Buffett apparently follows Ray Dalio pretty heavily, especially with when it came to gold. When Buffett got in the gold himself, he waited for Dalio to really kind of push it. So potentially it might not be Buffett, but it might be Berkshire Hathaway after Buffett. But when Berkshire starts buying Bitcoin, I think it'll be too late for the average person to ever get a full Bitcoin ever again.
Yeah, I mean, they have tons of free flowing capital to
Yeah.
start acquiring. So
Yeah, we just need Buffett to retire. So, but we'll see. Justin, Fidelity files for a U.S. Treasury fund called OnChain, and it will be on Ethereum, with the SEC expecting the product to go live on May 30th. So this is a product that they're going to be basically buying assets and adding to this, and you'll be able to potentially buy this on the stock market, kind of like a Grayscale Trust, for instance. But what is going to be on here will be on-chain assets. So they'll be buying on-chain assets, and you can actually get exposure to them through a fund through Fidelity.
I like the name for sure,
Yeah.
right? But this is a huge move in terms of utility of the
Yeah.
blockchain, right? So treasury fund, that's huge. How are they going to, can anybody have access to this? I'm going to look into this because this is something that it's huge, right? So they might
Yeah.
still, have their standards on their platform of who can have access to this, but we'll see.
Yeah, Fidelity is. I think the people that would have access to this will be probably considered, an accredited investor. I don't know if the average day user can get access to something like this. I could be wrong, but you're right. We definitely have to do more research into that. But I think that Fidelity is very similar to BlackRock. They have funds. BlackRock has their Biddle fund, which we're about to talk about in a minute. But they have the Fidelity has funds as well that you can kind of pick and choose what you want when you sign up for them. But normally you have to go through a Fidelity broker, to kind of pick and choose the assets. And normally you have to be a wealthy individual to even get access to the brokers, right? So
yeah, but remember, there's stuff in the Bitcoin ecosystem that could challenge this.
yes,
So
yes,
whether it's a small or medium sized company that starts up, and they give access to everybody around the world, that could be a game changer, and it could
yeah.
make these more established TradFi institutions, not in the beginning because I don't think they're going to budge, but maybe they'll realize that, hey man, we're losing a lot of business, or not losing a lot of business, but we're missing out on a lot of business. So we'll see how it affects each other.
100%. Yeah, I agree. All right. So next thing here, BlackRock's Biddle fund now holds approximately a record 1.145 billion worth of Ethereum, according to data from Token Terminal. I actually have a chart to kind of show you that when everyone else was flooding ETH, these guys were buying it heavily. Look at this. This is this is March. Look at this, right? They've been buying, and then whoop, they've been ripping it up. I mean, look at this is almost doubled the days of last year and stuff like that. So absolutely incredible. Pretty wild.
Yeah, and like you said, smart money buys dips, right? And that's exactly what they did. But they obviously, in my opinion, are forecasting something, right? Like in terms of what they believe is going to happen. So this is another data point. Hopefully, the data points have not helped me a ton, but hopefully this one can project a bit in terms of what could be coming up in the next 10 weeks that you say that we're going to have bullish activity.
Yeah.
So
10 weeks, and I'm sure they're going to sell at the end of these 10 weeks, but they've doubled. Like this last week alone, they've doubled. When Bitcoin, when Ethereum was under $2,000, they doubled their purchases. And as you can see here, they're not just bullish on Ethereum. This blue one right here is Avalanche. This purple one here is Aptos. This pink one is Polygon. This gray one is Arbitrum 1. And this other one here is OpNet, right? So I'm sorry, OPNet, which is
Optimism, yeah.
layer 2. So you can see they've been buying this stuff as well, starting I want to say late last year in November. But they've increased with the increasing of Ethereum. So they're getting a little bit more risky as well.
Yeah, and that's very interesting. I wonder how they're going to move the markets with Aptos, Polygon, Arbitrum, and Optimism, Avalanche as well, right? Like how they're going to move the markets, because they've been acquiring it, like you said, since Q4 of last year.
Yeah.
But is this something that's being talked about? No, not that I know of, right? Like I haven't heard too much about that, but that's definitely interesting because I wonder if it's going to propel these other alts up once things really get bullish.
Yeah, and what happened in the second week of November? What happened?
They started.
They started. Who was who won the election? You know
Very
what I mean?
true.
So
Very true. Very true.
so that's kind of what it's showing there, guys. So got to be patient, but it'll come. All right, the last thing before we get into fear and greed here is OpenAI CEO Sam Altman in talks with Visa for crypto stablecoin payments wallets. So they want to take payments for their OpenAI and potentially use stablecoins with the AI, potentially the AI using the stablecoins all through Visa. This is absolutely huge for Visa, but it's even bigger for stablecoins.
And it's actually big for OpenAI too. And
Yeah.
this is so we have like grassroots companies like Emblem
Yeah.
Vault that's doing this right now, trying to,
Yeah.
getting the agent hustle to be able to make purchases on your behalf. You sign off and approve all that stuff. But like the capital behind something like OpenAI, right? Like that's crazy. And if they're partnering with Visa, right? So how will
Yeah.
this work in tandem? And obviously there's going to be some sort of credit card, I think, integration here. But this is the most bullish thing that we could imagine for payments and crypto in general, because this means mass adoption is starting to take place. When you have OpenAI, a huge the biggest AI company in the US right now, talking about this, I can't imagine what we're going to see in terms of product rollout in the next 6 months, because I feel like we're going to start seeing stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we need to see like this adoption with like Web 2 merging with Web 3, and it's something that like I get excited about, because it's something that we're kind of messing with right now, right? So I
Yeah.
think it's going to be huge in 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what this could be, right? This is just my imagination, but tell me if I'm crazy. So I see a future where OpenAI becomes a bank, and your direct deposit goes into this bank, and it gets transferred from the banking dollar to a stable coin, and then you go to your OpenAI and say, "Pay my phone bill." And he goes and pays the phone bill. He's like, pay my rent or pay my mortgage. He goes and pays the mortgage. Hey, I want to go buy me a lawnmower from Target. He goes and buys you a lawnmower from Target, all using your stable coins, right? And like, it's taking what Emma Vault's doing in Web3 and taking it to a Web2 type of environment where you're just telling your AI, you're not doing anything anymore. He's making sure all your bills are paid. He's making sure everything is done for you, all from your direct deposit, all from the money you deposit into your OpenAI wallet, which would be your OpenAI bank account. Dude, the ideas that are popping in my head are just absolutely insane.
Yeah, so I think the bill payment and stuff like that will still be like an automated setup, but you can have them set it up for you like
But
that,
it'll be
right? Every month.
stablecoin, so it's automatic. It's just like boom, no
Yeah,
more
like
third
but so
party.
once
Just
you set that up initially, you're done with that, right? Because
yeah.
like your AI payment,
Unless you're
it's just
paycheck to paycheck, and you got to make sure you have the funds in there.
then you got other problems that like I don't want to get into right now, right? For that, because like I mean that sucks if people are going through financial crisis or whatever. But my
Yeah,
point that I'm making is that like you set that up, but like I love the other aspect that you meant, right? Like
yeah,
I need a lawnmower. Research the most efficient
yeah,
and cost efficient lawnmower for me, and okay, I came back with this, blah blah blah. Okay, purchase that for me using my
yeah,
USDC I have in my wallet or something like that.
yeah,
Simple as that. So you don't even have to look at stuff really anymore, right? But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting future.
yeah,
I see that
100%, dude.
coming. I see that coming,
Yeah.
by the way.
It's basically taking what Emma Vault's doing and just putting it into a Web2 world, right? All
Yeah.
done through your AI
Which is
stablecoin.
fine, because like Emblem Vault is focused on like trading and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think like the ones that are here, they will continually focus on that. Like
Well,
the
the
crypto
Web3
trading
stuff, yeah.
aspect. Yeah.
It's only a matter of time then before they get into that as well, though.
Crossover,
And
yeah.
you really can't compete. I love what Emma Vault's doing, but you really can't compete with Grok and OpenAI if they get in the game. Like it's
Well, it
just not
depends if
possible.
if the like outside investors come in and try to scoop up these startups as well, right? Because like
Yeah,
at the end of the day, there's definitely like this fine line, I think, and it happened with Silicon Valley, to where you
yeah,
had like these huge companies that like tried to cross over. They were a little bit late. They finally accepted that internet's here. Whether it's like newspapers or whatever, and there was already like search engines that were like putting out articles like Yahoo and stuff like that, right? And so there is a fine line to where money can't necessarily make everything work. There has to be still the talent from the team, and so that's where I think that could happen here. But money definitely helps a lot.
I don't think you need talent when you have artificial intelligence. That's the smartest thing in the world.
Well, that's another game.
So when you're building the smartest, I mean, I'm sure the stuff that they have behind the scenes will just blow our minds when we finally get a chance to see it, right? So that's the only thing that scares me with these these crypto companies and stuff like that. But we'll see, right? We'll see. Everything, nothing's for sure. So fear and greed. Let's get into it. So last week we were at 32. Yesterday we were at 30. Today we are neutral. We are a lot higher than 30. I don't even know how I can give you the same. We're a lot higher than 30. Like, I'll just come and tell you, we're at a 45. Like, I didn't know how to even hint that to you without actually giving you a number, but we're at 45 today. What do you think? Do you feel 45 in this sense of being neutral?
Well, I've been kind of paying attention to other parts of the space, right? So,
Yeah.
like last night, as we kind of ramped up towards like 87 and stuff like that, I can see why we're here. But I didn't necessarily feel it, and until this morning when I looked, I was like, oh wow, we're at 88. So I feel it now, not necessarily last night because I just wasn't paying attention as much. But I can see why we're there. But this is a good sign, man. Like, we popped up pretty aggressively here, so we'll see if this continues. But yeah, man, this is definitely a good sign.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm gonna die on this hill of this 10-week bull market that we're in, and we're on week 2. Next week we will be in the 70s. We get to that, we will be in the 80s and 90s.
70s. Woo!
We'll be in the 70s next week. I think next Tuesday I'm gonna say last week we're at a 45. Yesterday we're at 68. Today we're at a 72. I got a feeling that next Monday I'm going to be saying that. And I truly believe that the week after we're going to be the 80 and 90s, and everyone's going to know that we're in this bullish momentum of a crypto altcoin catch up. I won't call it alt season, but I'm going to call it a crypto altcoin catch up, to where they're catching up to being a little bit. I think a lot of the altcoins are oversold, and I think they get to a point where they're actually valuable again, to the point where they're accessible and people are buying them and they're sitting there and doing well. I wouldn't call them. I don't think they'll get to an oversold, which would be that blow off top that people are expecting. But I do
Overbought,
in this next 10 weeks, overbought. Yeah, sorry, overbought area. But I think that happens
Q4.
the end of this year, Q4. Yeah.
What a perfect layout though, if that happens, because I do feel like alts kind of deserve it.
Yeah.
Not the degen ones, not the micro caps necessarily,
Yeah.
and mids kind of, but like they have been beaten up so much, right? So
yeah, they definitely deserve a little bit, at least getting back to fair
some
value,
love, man.
right?
Some love.
Yeah,
They deserve some love.
Yep, 100%. All right, guys, let's get into the Bitcoin price action here, brought to you guys by Artora.finance. Artora is building something awesome. They're building a leverage trading platform on top of Bitcoin. They're going to be on Hemi mainnet very soon, probably within the next couple of months. But right now, they are on Botonic's testnet. Botonix is the spider chain. And right now, if you go to Artora.finance, you will automatically hook your wallet up to the spider chain testnet. And then you guys can make one trade. You make one trade, you actually get into the raffle system. And that's going to be pretty big, because you're going to want your guys. They're basically telling us they're going to do an airdrop, right? And potentially Hemi could do an airdrop as well. So if you are playing eventually down the line and Hemi mainnet launches, you might actually be double dipping by doing Artora and doing Hemi. We're actually going to do an airdrop video, really kind of going over the possibilities of what you guys can potentially get, right? We have some information about the airdrop that we want to bring to our listeners and watchers. So we want you guys to be involved, and we'll let you guys know when we do that video. But in the meantime, just go to Artora.finance, play with the testnet, get used to the protocol, and we're going to be doing a live trading session that we're going to be doing with a bunch of different traders and stuff like that. You guys can actually join us in that. It's going to be live. No, that's going to be recorded.
Yeah.
Right. That's gonna be recorded. Okay. So we're gonna be doing a video with a bunch of traders. We're gonna be paper trading. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. We'll probably have that video out in a few weeks, so look out for that. But in the meantime, again, go to Artora.finance, guys.
Yep. And before we jump into the Bitcoin price action, guys, if you could help us out on the YouTube side, smash that like for us, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, guys, share the space for us. We want to educate and onboard as many people to crypto and the Bitcoin ecosystem as possible. And if you could share that abstract stream, that would be great from that side as well. But let's take a look at Bitcoin's price action here. We're going to start with the hour chart, but I am going to go over the 1 week and all that great stuff, and go over the others as well, because I think that that's important, especially now for us to kind of head into this 10 weeks of bullishness that we're There we go.
We're in.
Right.
It's week 2, baby.
Yes. It's week 2. Here we go. On the hour chart, guys, looks pretty decent, right? We man, this rise up was really nice, right? Like we stayed in overbought for a while. Even when we dipped, they were very small. I mean, like you had 2 hour candles here, 1, 2 again, and this is going to all play into that weekly chart as well. And I'm going to show you in a second because the weekly looks amazing. Yes, we might have a little bit of a pullback here just because we got all the way to like 88.5, which is great because that's definitely our local high that we've seen recently. But yeah, it does seem like it wants to come back down into the oversold territory, which is that 20-point mark on the stochastics here. You can see the MACD does have a little bit of a hook here, so we could start to see this kind of pull back down, but I don't think that we're going to see a massive pullback like we did last week, because we are getting to close to all these like catalyst, like time zones. For example, like the M2 money supply is supposed to kick in tomorrow. The April 1st, the cutting back to $5 billion of selling down the assets, right? So there's a lot of catalysts that are coming up, guys. And so I do feel like even if we do pull back, it's not going to be like super substantial. So that's just my opinion. Obviously, do your own research. But yeah, so for the second half of today, I really just see kind of a chop back and forth. Nothing too crazy. I actually see us ending higher at the end of the day. So this is what I see for the hour chart. The 4-hour chart pulling up here looks very, very beautiful. You can see here the strength is there. The hour is always going to swing a little bit back and forth because it is a shorter time frame. But as long as we do hold that strength, we don't drop down 4K or 3K, something like that, then this will remain strong. And, we can kind of play into Wednesday. So, the 4-hour chart looks very, very strong. You can see right here, the MACD looks really great. This is like a really good setup for the 4-hour chart, not to necessarily find a position, but, just to kind of have, I guess, maintain some bullishness, right, for the next 2 days. Obviously, we have seen some volatility, a lot of it with Bitcoin. So don't be shocked if something just changes on a whim, if there's some tariff post or something like that. But I am feeling very good heading into Wednesday because that's what the 4-hour gives us, a little bit of a 2-day forecast there. I do want to touch on the weekly here. And this is the weekly chart for Bitcoin. And you can see, man, this is looking very good, in my opinion, for like a really good setup. Could we, have a red week? Yeah, it's possible. But we had this really big pullback, right? And now we're starting to build up here. And you can see, we talked about this last week when we went over the weekly chart that we tested the top channel of the 50-day EMA. The top part of the channel, and it responded exactly how we would want Bitcoin to respond, as in, okay, we bounced up and now we're starting to form an uptrend here, right? So we do need a decent week, I think, right now. But if let's just say that we kind of chopped a little bit this week, that'd be okay. As long as we don't have like a massive pullback, then we'll continue green. This is like beautiful in terms of like the leading indicators. You can see right here we're at like 19.35, which is right at that 20-point margin here for the stochastic RSI, meaning that we're about to cross back out of oversold, which is great. I do want to see this blue leading MACD indicator line starting to hook a little bit more, though. That will give me a little bit more confidence. This is weakening here. The sell pressure is also weakening on the MACD candle, so it looks really good for a bullish setup. You can see here the VRVP too. There's not a ton of volume compared to down here, obviously, but it looks pretty decent. There is like this price range of 101 102 right here that seems to have a decent amount of resistance, but nothing crazy, right? Like it's probably like a 60-40 ratio here. So I like our chances. And like I've been saying, I like a lot of the catalysts playing into this. So that is the weekly breakdown of Bitcoin. Now let me get into some of the others chart that myself recommended last week. So the others is a chart that is basically all of the top, altcoins excluding Bitcoin, right? So this is the hour chart. So the hour chart looks really good. I mean, we've separated ourselves pretty, good distance away from the 50-day EMA. And I think that's fine because it hasn't been like crazy long. It's not like, it started back here. So you're looking at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about like a day's worth of kind of propelling up here, and getting our distance, right? So to me, this is a bullish kind of sign that like alts are starting to get a little hyper aggressive, comparative to Bitcoin, which is what we need. We need, the percentage gain to be better for alts versus Bitcoin, because we haven't really seen that. And if we have in the past, it hasn't been consistent. It's retraced really quick. That gap closes very fast. So this is something to look at, to keep your eye on, to see, okay, we are keeping our distance and we're continually, showing a higher percent gain compared to Bitcoin, which is a sign of possible, like, mini alt season maybe we might be going into here. The MACD does seem like it's starting to, curl down a little bit here. So this is something to keep your eye on as well. So for the rest of the day, I would say, alts look pretty decent. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually sustained up here, as Bitcoin might correct a little bit, just because, like I said, the percent gain looks pretty good. This is going to be a good test. Keep an eye on like Ethereum, especially Ethereum, but like some of these other alts that have gained some, if they continually gain, or if they, when Bitcoin starts to retrace, if they quickly retrace, because if they quickly retrace, then we might see kind of what we've seen in the recent past of, just we're not there yet, basically, and that wouldn't be great. So that's what I'm seeing for the 4-hour kind of same scenario as Bitcoin. Things look really good set up here. And this actually we haven't been here as long as I think Bitcoin, in terms of like the positive price trend for the others versus Bitcoin. So, I wouldn't be shocked again if we kind of like the alts sustain a little bit more positive price action trend than Bitcoin. So that's what I'm seeing there. And then last chart here is the weekly, looking pretty good. This is very similar to Bitcoin though, right? This is going to probably mimic a lot what we see. Oh, this is Bitcoin. Let me actually get out of this. Sorry. This is the others.
I was going to say it looks very similar, but that
Yeah, I was about to
very
say
similar as well.
because it was. Well, it looks similar, except for the difference is the 50-day EMA, right? You could see like this makes sense though. How much alts have gotten beat up and stuff. Like Bitcoin tested the top channel and was able to, be successful. And so for us, I keep saying us because like a lot of us have like alt portfolios, right?
Yeah, I mean,
we've been waiting.
Yeah.
But my whole point that I'm making is like this was, every time that like Bitcoin would go down, the alt market would go down ×5.
Yeah.
You just felt it more. So, paying attention to this the next couple of weeks is going to be really, vital in my opinion as well, because like if we're continually like thrusting up here on the weekly chart for the alt market, while Bitcoin might kind of correct a little bit and stuff, that's another indicator that we might be in this bullish alt atmosphere. So I know that was a lot, guys, but hopefully this helps. I do want to go into more of like a zoomed outlook for the weekly and kind of cover the others more, so you guys have more insight on maybe where we are as an overall market.
Yeah, man, that was actually really bullish. And it's been like a couple of weeks now where I'm just like, let's get bullish, man. And you're finally feeling it, right? Because it's always like when you did say something bullish though in the last couple of weeks, it was always followed by, but we could see further lower, and it's like no, it's like be bullish. But maybe that's just me, just being overly bullish, and it's a nice maybe change of pace for a lot of people that you're very to the charts. So
yeah.
All right. Let's kind of get into today's roll call here on the show. First is first, and we're actually keeping a list, and then we're checking it twice. And today, again, it's our guy ASAP Benji. ASAP, you won last Monday, so you're and you won today. So congratulations to you, my friend. You are on win number 5 for the year. Congratulations to you. So right now, I think you are behind PJNZ in 4th place. Yeah, that's the way it's looking, and Lucky Lukey's right there in 5th place. So, guys, it is a battle right now, and anyone could win. If you are curious to figure out what the hell we're talking about, so this is something we've been following for a while now. First is the first comment, right? But just because you're the first comment doesn't mean you're going to make the show. So there's a thing called the Reaper. I didn't make it up. That's what the people in the chat call it. But YouTube, for some reason, deletes comments sometimes. Well, sometimes they really haven't. It's been very rare that they delete the comments. But if you can make the show, like you see ASAP Benji here got in at 9:43 yesterday morning. So if you can make the show, that's all that matters. And he did. And congratulations to you, my friend, on your win number 5 for the year. But anyway, guys, we have a lot of months, a lot of days, a lot of opportunities for anyone to really take this. And there is a prize of a Bitcoin frog. That frog is valued between 900 and 1100, depending on the day. That thing could go to 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 by the time this thing is actually awarded to the winner. So it could be an absolutely massive prize. It's something I said to Iago B, 2 years ago when we first got into space. I want to give away a frog. And potentially we're going to be able to do, well, we are. We're going to be doing that on December 31st. So look out for that and be a part of it.
Yep.
So, all right, let's got to get into it. ASAP says, Reaper, don't dare. Danny Boy says, damn, he was an hour late. Danny Boy was an hour late, but he still made it. Shout out to Danny. He said, Benji on it. Good game. Mats is here. Shout out to Mats. ASAP. Poeta is here. Shout out to Poeta. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. He loves me and I love you. With his Billy Cat. Shout out to Mr. Hanky. Danny Boy says, Benji, if you don't get reaped tonight, how many points you got now? Gotta be getting up there. Yes, he has 5, Danny. He has 5. Shout out to the Danny Boy. PJNZ says, let's frog and go. Let's frog and go, baby. Rick G says, way too early. Reaper coming for sure. He didn't come, Rick. He didn't come. Webdro says, if Benji not reaped 5, next is Webdro got like the link, bro. Like he has this stuff down. He knows exactly how much everyone got.
I mean, he's so good that like he's letting everybody else like come in and get some.
You know what I think he did? He probably screenshot at the website, had ChatGPT get it out, and then click the link. So he potentially could have access to it. I don't know. Hopefully no one's changing stuff. I don't think I have it edible, but we'll see. ASAP Benji says, haha, I'm still far away from you guys. I will be 5 points if I don't get reaped. And you did not. You made it, bro. Nabob is here. Shout out to Nabob. Ordinal's Chips is here. Remember when Ordinal's Chips and Ordinal's Tweets? What happened, guys? What happened?
I don't know, man.
Ordinal's Chips are
got in a fight.
They got into an argument. So only one of us can join the show at a time. Nighthawk says, I love you guys. You, sir, are an absolute legend. If you don't know who Nighthawk is, guys, he's always in the Nuki chat if you ever want to go talk to him. But he is out in LA being a hero to people, making sure everyone gets home safely. Shout out to Nighthawk. Not all heroes wear capes, and Nighthawk is definitely a hero in my eyes. Shout out to Hero. Danny Boy is here. Glasshopper is here. GM, Glasshopper. Steamy J is in the building. Shout out to Steamy J. Super fan with us every single day. He sets his alarm clock to pay attention to us. We appreciate that, man. It really helps us out a lot. And yeah, 100%. Malam is here. They go, yep. Shizzy the prophet. Yes, Shizzy is always right. Shizzy will be right about the 10-week bull run, and he will be right about the 700K end of cycle.
This year?
Whether that's next year. This
what do
cycle.
you think?
End of this cycle. I think it's going to be May of next year. But we'll see.
Ah, okay.
I think we got a year of bullishness with a few little bear traps, and that'll be the next bear trap will be in the summer, and then after that potentially it could be like next January. But we will see. But I think we hit 700K by next May. 13 more months of bull, guys. 13 more months of bull. So Dumbo says, so basically low is in according to him. Oh, he's talking about
Arthur Hayes.
Next guy, Arthur Hayes, yeah. Claudius says, let's effing go. Austin Gray says, GM. Patty Poo is here. Shout out to the Bitcoin Machine himself. Joko is here. Shout out to Joko every single day. Myself, crazy. Looks like alts already put 2 tops this cycle. I personally think we have 1 left.
Interesting.
What does myself mean here?
So yeah, if you look at the weekly chart, it shows 2 tops. Where is that others? Right here. I'll show. Give me a second. Yeah. So myself, I'm curious if you think it's gonna happen in Q4, or you think we're about to go into it with like maybe a spring push up. Because if it happens coming up here in the spring, I don't like that. I'd rather it be like a blow off the top in the in Q4, but this is what he's talking about. So you got right here and right here, and this one right here happened in April, and then this one was in Q4 of 2024. So, he's saying basically we got one more that will probably, be the high, and then that's it. But yeah, I think I got that right
Yeah.
myself. Let us know. Also, I'm curious what you think, when you think it's going to happen.
Yep. Dumbo says X partner update. Ghosty swap past 100 million total value swap next week. We've never had Ghosty swap as a partner of ours.
Yeah,
So
but
I
we
don't know
did
what you
cover
mean by
them a
that.
lot.
Well, we covered Tap. We had
Yeah.
the Tap Tuesdays. So
Yep.
Danny Boy says, "What's a second place prize?" We're gonna figure that out. We'll probably have an answer for you by the summer. Promise. We have plenty of time, so I want to make sure that it's a really good prize, and we want to have it, thought process and everything. So, Danny Boy says, "Shizzy is getting fast at reading these comments. We got to make it more difficult. Overload the comments. Hey guys, yeah, bring it on, dude. That really helps the algorithm. The more comments. So if you're someone who just listens, I really appreciate if you guys just throw a yo in there or something every day to make roll call. It really helps the algorithm kind of push, or just like anything really, or fu Shizzy, or whatever you want to do. But if you like it as well, that will actually help. So let's get that going. Appreciate you guys, and that is your roll call for today. Let's kind of move along here. So this is something I really enjoy. Let's get into the on-chain news. Sonic Labs co-founder Andre Kranja is preparing an algorithm stablecoin. Despite experiencing crypto winter PTSD. So what do you think? Can Andre, the godfather of DeFi, the guy who created some of the first DeFi apps, the guy who created one of the fastest chains in the world, which is Sonic, the guy who's created DeFi protocol after DeFi protocol and hasn't even really taken the credit for a lot of the stuff that he's created. He creates the back end. A lot of people come up and then use it, put a front into his stuff. We've seen that many times. And can Andre successfully create an algorithmic stablecoin?
Oh man, I don't really want him to try, but I guess like if he's gonna try now, because then it's probably guaranteed to survive at least through the end of the year if he launches it now.
Yeah.
Because well, that's if we get that Q4 blow off the top. But it look, anything like stablecoin algorithmic scares me, just because it scares the space, I think, too. You got to have enough collateral to be able to do something like that. And we've seen someone that thought he was probably smarter than he was, and he was a smart guy in general, get too cocky with it, and it got destroyed.
Yeah, but you can't compare him to Andre, right? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's
Doquan
more of like
wasn't Andre. Yeah,
he's more of like a CEO type, not a
yeah,
a
100%.
developer type. Yeah.
Andre's a developer with the CEO's role, with the co-founder role. Like, if anyone could do this, Andre can do it. But what if he succeeds? What if he creates something that is sustainable, that is actually tried and true, and the big boys try to destroy it, but they can't? What if he creates something that is decentralized stablecoin that is not issued by Tether, USDC, DAI, so on and so on and so on, right? Because we know DAI is really just backed by USDT and USDC. Like, it's not a decentralized coin at all. It can be, it can be plugged up. But what if he does create something special here?
I think that he's going to have a lot of enemies in the other stable coins, and I think that was probably part of the reason why Luna was attacked so much, is
100%.
because it threatened USDC Circle, and as much as corporations and stuff, big money wasn't like showing their face in our space. There was definitely capital invested, and so I wouldn't want to do that, because I will feel like if you're doing something small, let's like for the Bitcoin ecosystem or something like that, that starts off small at least, and then you're open to being acquired or something, that's a different story. But I don't know, maybe he has that mindset as well. Who knows? But I just feel like stablecoin is such a headache, because like there's so many haters going to come out trying to, you just got a lot of competition that doesn't seem to be friendly, I guess.
No, of course they don't want a algorithmic stablecoin, right? Because against everything that they stand for, they want just centralization. They want to control it. They want to freeze it, right? Like, what a decentralized algorithmic stablecoin, it's not possible, right? Because there's no center party. There's no one stopping it. But if he does succeed, it's game changing. It's the biggest thing. It could be the biggest stablecoin in the world because decentralization matters, and I think people will truly see that. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's kind of get the next thing here. So some from last week, but
we got
didn't
a
get
super chat real quick. Is that cool if we address that?
Yeah, 100%. Let's do it.
From F, it looks like 0_O, or maybe I have that backwards. Appreciate your super chat here. It says, what do you think, Yago B, about Atomicals? Please tell me, because I put all my money in it. Oh man, I want to know who told you to put all your money in it. That's the person that you need to.
Well, no one should tell you anything. You made that decision. So
yeah, I mean, that's one of the first things that we always bring up is that, you know, you always got to take research, no matter if someone has a flawless track record or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, anybody could be wrong on any given day. So you put the, you know, fate in your own research capabilities. You can take information and stuff. But getting back to your question here, what do I think about Atomicals? I think Atomicals, from a tech standpoint, was pretty solid, actually. I think that they did a great job in terms of, you know, getting Satoshis to be able to kind of back these fungible tokens. Honestly, it's one of the reasons I was able to still use my Bitcoin, and there was like a decent amount that was in there. And so I thought that was really cool. I thought it was really cool how they did the what was it, the bit work. There was the infrastructure was really cool. Everything was solid. But in Bitcoin, unfortunately, there's if you don't get like hit in 80%, I feel like it's probably right. 80% of the total community on board with it, then it's really hard to survive. And I think that's what happened with Atomicals. I'm not saying that Atomicals is dead, but like, you know, it's definitely gonna be hard to revive that. Same sentiment. Now in a bull market, like anything can happen, right? People try to revive tokens and stuff just to kind of get them going. So that's my thought process on it. I would probably say, you know, look at your Atomicals and see how much Bitcoin you have from those, right? Because you, like I said, they tried to back as like one-to-one sats, kind of like colored coins. And so I was able to kind of look at some of my Atomical wallets and say, hey, I still have, you know, like $1,500 towards this. You know what I mean? But I did keep, you know, a lot of my NFTs, the toothies and stuff like that, because who knows? You know, it could thrive again. But sorry if that's not the answer you were looking for, but that was the answer I got for you, because I'm just trying to give it to you straight.
And real quick, I was hitting that as well. The great poet Kenny Rogers once said, know when to fold them. I think you should fold these cards here. I don't think Atomicals is coming back, in my opinion. I think you know, the founder potentially has given up on it, and I think that, you know, that I think it's a dead. I think Atomicals is a dead project. But hey, I probably lost more money on runes than you lost on Atomicals, and I'm still bullish on runes. So, you know, I could be wrong, but
do you think Runes is gonna bounce back?
Because Casey's still involved. Casey's still building this agent stuff. So that would be the difference for me. If what's his name?
Arthur.
If Arthur came back and said, "Hey guys, I'm building. This, look what I built," then that changes my opinion on that. But without further data, without him coming back, then I think this is a project that you should probably fold. Take that money, take that Bitcoin, because it is still Bitcoin, and put that into something else that actually is sustainable going forward. So no one to fold them. And no one to hold them too, though. So who knows? Courtney Johnson says Tron has an algo stablecoin been running for a few years now. USDT. Oh wow, yeah, I didn't actually know that. I haven't really.
Well, they got attacked too. Remember, for a little bit.
Did they?
And Justin Sun came out and was yeah, like people were pulling up the Do Kwon screenshots saying steady lads. But hey, he was able to protect it, and I think it depegged to maybe like 88 cents or something.
Yeah,
maybe 88, 86, but he was able to pull it back. I feel like Justin Sun has like unlimited resources or something, man. That guy's like, I think he owns the like island of Malta or something by this point.
Yeah, he has unlimited resources, I'm sure, and he's able to. And that's the difference between him and someone like Andre, for sure. I don't think Andre has, you know, half the money that Justin Sun has, but Justin Sun is truly, you know, committed to his projects. He's truly committed to his chain, and that's another reason to be very bullish Tron. But it's hard to find Tron bulls. I don't really know any.
Yeah, yeah, me neither. But hey, the guy has a lot of money, and it's Tron is still here. His stablecoin is still here, so we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, man, 100%, 100%. All right, all right. I guess we can get into this while we wait for our guy to pop in here. But Pump Fun introducing Pump Swap. Pump's new native DEX beginning now, so it is live already. All coins that complete their bonding curve will migrate directly to Pump Swap. So Pump Swap actually came out of nowhere, but I'm pretty sure Radium knew about it because Radium launched their own Pump Fun last week, right, or the previous week. So, but it was pretty crazy to kind of watch what happened to the Radium token. So this is the Radium token. Once that news was out, look, it was on an upward momentum, and then boom, absolutely killed, and it didn't stop. The pain has now stopped a little bit, but it went from, I want to say, at the peak there around $3 to down to here. It hit the bottom, was around $1.46, and now it has some upward momentum. But I think this is just a probably have see further down. Radium's most success was with Pump Fun, and now they're not going to see that no more. Can their service be successful? I think it's impossible to compete with Pump Fun. I don't think it's possible on that chain. You can't compete on that chain with
yeah.
With Pump Fun.
I feel like there's this like unspoken tension between them two now, right?
Yeah.
Obviously I don't know. I'm not in the Solana ecosystem that deep like that, right? So, but the funny thing was is just like the back-to-back releases, right? It's like, okay, we're releasing a Pump Fund, okay, we're releasing a DEX. So I almost wonder if there was like finger pointing happening whenever like everything like pulled back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there was all this negative publicity. By the way, I feel like most of that has gone away now. Like you're not really hearing so much about that anymore, right?
Yeah. No.
But at that point, they're probably like, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta do this, and it's like, we're doing our own thing. And then next thing you know, they both have the same model with each other. So
yeah,
it's interesting.
Can Radium survive without Pump Fun?
Yeah. I mean, Radium's been around for a while, right? So, like, I mean, they still have like their daily fees and all that stuff. Like, I mean, yes, they're missing out on a bunch, that was sent to them and all that stuff. But it's probably a big hit, and probably, I wouldn't be shocked if Pump Fun actually planned to launch their own DEX first, and Radium found out about it.
That's probably,
and then kind of ran that announcement. You know what I mean? And said, we're doing our own thing. So,
yep. All right, guys, it is officially Monday, and every Monday around 12 p.m. Eastern time, we take a deep dive into what Merlin is building. So Merlin Chain, make Bitcoin fun again. These guys are building, guys, and they're building AI. I feel like if you are smart and if you're in crypto, you're focused on AI. And another one of our partners here, Merlin, is focused on AI. They actually just posted a tweet, and we're going to get into all that stuff. But if you don't know what Merlin is a layer 2 on Bitcoin. You guys can actually bridge your Bitcoin from Bitcoin layer 1 to Merlin to participate in all the cool stuff they have over there. They are EVM based, and they are building. And if you do have the Merl token, you are lucky because you can get 15% APY on that, and potentially in the future you're going to see Bitcoin. I don't know if that's implemented yet, but you're going to be able to get rewards on your Bitcoin as well. So that is going to be absolutely huge. And Merlin is one of the few places where you can trade runes and you can trade ordinals. So definitely
BRC20s too, yep.
BRC20s as well. So there's not really many places. They all call themselves L2s, but they don't have no L1 assets, right? But Merlin is that, and we're so glad to have Jeff joining us again today. Jeff, welcome back to OnChain Revolution.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's going on? Congratulations for the AI wizard. I know that like you guys have been anticipating that for a while, but also congratulations on the kind of partnership with BNB as well, like with the BSC chain, because that's also very big. They've been getting a lot of volume over there. Before we get into that, though, I wanted to kind of see what your perception was on the most recent kind of upswing with Bitcoin. Do you feel like this is just kind of the market's tricking us again, or do you feel like this is actually some legitimate price action to the upside?
I mean, at least it tells us, the big institutions are not gone, because we've seen some data before that some whales, they started dumping. But I mean, because we didn't have Bitcoin ETF, in previous cycles, so this time it's more about retail users and whales giving up their Bitcoin to more institutions, which I think it will be a new norm in the future. And yeah, so I think the market is kind of bouncing back. We've seen some active, trading signals in Solana ecosystem, on BNB chain, and yeah, so I think it's definitely a good signal, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And we've also, saw seeing lots of altcoin. They are doing huge buybacks. I think over 10 plus, tier one altcoin, they announced their buyback plans. So I think that's a good sign too, because if they don't buy back, nobody's going to buy the altcoin in the cycle. I mean, Merlin, we keep buying back. We just don't make the announcement, but. Yeah, so I think and today, a great news. I just saw this a minute before Merlin Monday. Particle Network, they got listed on Binance and OKX. So if you're a user who used their product before, I think we will announce we'll have announcement on Merlin side as well. So if you are using the Particle product, such as I guess the AA wallet, the when you're using Unisat or Xverse. By trading, doing transactions on Merlin chain, you will be qualified for the airdrop. I guess it's not certain, but based on information I saw in the group chat, I think so. And also, if you are using the Universal X, which is also by Particle, right? I promote this for 1,000 times in the show. So yeah, if you are using Universal X to buy stuff, no matter from Solana or Merlin or BNB chain or Ethereum, whatever, you will have some points to get the airdrop as well, which is basically free stuff because you're using that product because it's useful, right? And you get some airdrops out of nowhere. I think the Particle is the very strong partner with us. We've been through some hard times. The AA wallet was not that good before. And they, got it through and got listed on Binance and OKX, which is huge. Yeah.
Wow. Well, will that token be a ERC20 on Merlin, or will it show up in a different wallet?
Oh, I think BNB chain, of course, definitely BNB chain. But if you're using their product, I think sorry, I don't think necessarily only BNB chain. Probably Ethereum plus BNB chain, something like that. But yeah, I think they will have a procedure for people to claim their jobs. Their team has been here for a long time, really, really dedicated builder. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's actually huge news because I know everyone watches our show who participated in Merlin. They were using a Unisat, they were using an Xverse. That's going to be a lot. That's going to be huge for our audience. And I've done tons of volume on Merlin using my Xverse and my Unisat mainly. So
I mean, just don't have high hopes, but
yeah.
I think it's really, I think it's really hard, to build ecosystems that multi projects got listed on OKX, on Binance, on Bybit, Avalon. They're doing a great job too. Solve is doing a great job too. So yeah, if you look back for a year, all these other ecosystems claim to build for Bitcoin, for Bitcoin. I think Merlin is achieving something, huge here.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Do you have a date of their TGE?
Oh, today. I mean, for you guys tomorrow, but for Asian, audience, it's today. It's in 21 hours. So 21 hours later.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. In my opinion, that's one of the biggest launches of this quarter. There's such a big infrastructure play, and people. We talked about how you can utilize Particle Network's wallet to pretty much use all these different cryptocurrencies. It doesn't matter the chain, all that stuff. One part that we really haven't talked a lot about is that you can use credit card as well. Am I right with that? Yeah. So you can purchase with credit card and all that great stuff. But
wow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Let's jump to the next thing, if you don't mind. I just want to kind of go over the suite, and then maybe you can talk about it as well. So the Merlin chain, you guys tweeted from your official Twitter, introducing Wizard 0.1, your AI-powered guide to Merlin chain. The rise of Merlin's AI agent unlocking the power of intelligence. Merlin Chain introduces Wizard, the intelligent guide within its ecosystem, designed to help users seamlessly understand and engage with the Merlin Chain ecosystem. The goal of Wizard is simple: to make Merlin Chain smoother, more enjoyable, and more efficient to use, while saving users valuable time, allowing them to focus on exploring the blockchain world. So I love AI on the sense that it's giving back our time. Right, it's giving back time of research, time of a lot other things. But I would love for you to dive a little bit more in depth in this, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. So this is called 0.1 is because it just interacts with you in like words. You ask me anything. I mean, better be like about Merlin, but you can ask other things as well. But if it's about Merlin, and I think for 99% of the time, he will give you a great answer. I cannot say 100% because ChatGPT cannot do that, DeepSeek cannot do that. But yeah, so like where to stake my Merl, how is the APR, how can I trade stuff, how can I bridge stuff, how can I trade NFTs, Bitcoin NFTs on there too, what's the gas, how can I withdraw, deposit, like all these questions. And also the 0.2 is about to launch, because actually 0.1 is the hardest, because making LLM understands crypto and chain knowledge is the hardest part. The 0.2 is about more data, so you can ask how is token trading, what's the current price, what's the daily trading volume, what is the biggest holder, are the biggest holders selling or buying, and like all this information, and it will gives you more data from chain. Because to me, I think Explorer is hard to use like hell, because I think normal day traders, users, they don't use Explorer, right? They don't use like mempool. People cannot read like different transactions in mempool. People don't read Etherscan or BNB scan or Tron scan, because it's hard for even for experienced dev. So I think this will be much easier and more transparent. So you can see how many holders are buying and selling, what's the price, what's the volume. It will be much more transparent. The 0.3 will be about actually helping you execute transactions like bridging, deposit, staking, borrowing, lending, trading, buying, selling, dumping, pumping, everything. It will help you to do. So I think that's the first step. But the thing I want to say is, behind the scenes, like the infrastructure is something we've been building for over 3 months. And I cannot say names, but this infrastructure has been helping lots of other chains and projects behind the scenes. We haven't announced yet, but there are lots of other chains, projects, even meme coins are using our infrastructure to build AI dApps. Thus, some of them are not like willing to disclose like in a short period of time, but because they want to pretend this is developed by them. But I think for longer time, you will see lots of dApps, Merlin ecosystem, Bitcoin ecosystems, other chains. They will be disclosing they're using Merlin AI infra. So we're building this for now, not only for our for customer service, but for more and more utilities.
Okay, so I completely understand about like the levels of AI, because that's just how AI works in terms of development, right? It gets smarter, it starts to learn kind of the users and all this stuff, right? So let's just say like a year down from where we are now, what is the ideal kind of situation this AI would be useful for?
You mean for
Retail users?
For retail users, I think infra is not about user needs. There's a gap between infra and user needs. Infra is something you can do. The user products is something users want, right? So I think for the Merlin Wizard is for the ordinary users to engage with Merlin chain in a much easier way. Because before, if you tell people to do something like if we have a new dApp coming on Merlin, you need to do shows, you need to do step-by-step instructions, and then probably do over 10 times, and then people can try. Now you just tell them, go to the wizard and ask me anything. That's much easier for any user. Just go there, ask me anything, and do whatever things they want to do. So I think that is the utility for the wizard. It will serve previous projects and also future learning projects or assets or platforms or DEX, NFTs. But I think the infra is sorry. But
So
yeah,
what
but I
about
think the infra is for
Sorry.
more different, like various different, utilities in the future. So for example, if Particle, Universal X, because Universal X SDK is not out yet, but if their SDK is out, you can integrate with our infra, and then you will be using merging Bitcoin to buy means much more easier, because you will give all this data, the signals from other chains. And also, we're integrated with the Twitter API. We're paying lots of money to Twitter every month. So, you will give you the information, like all these people you follow, they're talking about this thing, and the CA is here. You can buy this with the Merlin SDK. So like all of this will be integrated together. So I think AI is not about one product. It's about, the possibility of all these kind of, like different user scenarios for different products.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
What
if I was a builder and I wanted to, and I didn't want to build AI, but I wanted to potentially use what Merlin has built for my project. Is that something that is available for builders to come go build in the Merlin chain?
Yeah, so we'll be like releasing GitHub like like Elisa, but we will make sure it's more dev friendly. So you don't need to know, because actually learning prompt engineering is really hard. We've been through, because our employees are not, our devs are not AI concentrated. We hire some people, but there are some old dev, they're learning this. So we don't want like new builder to learn about prompt engineering, to learn about how to build a rack. They just need to read the GitHub, and they can just using something like API, but like technically it's not API, but using something like similar to API, and they can use this infra to build their products. But I think now it's too early. Like I don't want to say something we cannot accomplish in like a week or two. But I think definitely in Q2 we'll be seeing lots of new products based on Merlin AI.
I could see it being used on merlinchain.io as well. If someone was new and saying, hey, what's the best NFT platform or most used NFT platform on Merlin, and it could kind of talk to you back and forth or whatever, and stuff like that. But yeah, super exciting that you guys are releasing this first version. I can't wait to see what the end result is going to be here. Anything else on the AI before we move on to the next thing?
Actually, not many now. I've been like overnight, like for the past weekend, and today I'm going to like some of my devs are in my apartment actually right now. They're having conference right now, if you can hear them. But I'm going to do like a triple overnight with my team. Lots of new things are coming. I think and if the market is bouncing back, I think much more cool stuff about AI will come too.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I won't keep you too long because you got to manage that meeting here. But I would like for you to hit on kind of this relationship that you guys have with BNB Chain and what that looks like.
Yeah, so we're going to have 2 campaigns this week. Just pay attention to our official Twitter account, not my Twitter account. I don't have time for Twitter right now. But pay attention to our official Twitter account. We'll be having 2 campaigns. First is about bridging Merl to BNB Chain. So you are not paying any fees at all. We'll give you like rebates. If you bridge something there, you will be paying the bridge, but all this money will be coming back to you. So you can bridge in, bridge back, and also if you bridge more than 100 Merl, which is like $10, you will be having like a lottery to do like to get some like I don't know, like a couple of $1,000 for the lottery. So just encourage people to bridge there, because bridge is like the first thing you need to do, right? Actually 3 things. So that's first, bridge, no cost, for fun, and win some lottery. Second thing is we're going to have a trading competition on PancakeSwap. So if you go to PancakeSwap right now, if you search Merl, you can see the LP there. You will be whitelisted before the trading competition. So Merl will be like the one of the few tokens whitelisted on PancakeSwap. If you trade there for over $100, $500, you will be getting into the list. So the whole trading competition, I think, is like a $50,000-$60,000 price, which is pretty high. So you can go there and trade Merl and win some prize. And I think that's good because for the users in BNB chain, they have 0 Merl. So basically, trading competition, you need to buy and then to sell, right? So it will definitely generate some buy power from the BNB chain users, and like getting familiar with them. We will have some AMA in the groups with them, with the audience, to educate people what is Merlin chain, what is Bitcoin Layer 2, why this is important, and what's going on with the Bitcoin ecosystems. Why Merl is on BNB chain, so all that stuff. So definitely, I think bridging to BNB chain, having a trading competition on PancakeSwap is a pretty big deal for us. Because right now BNB chain is like the place millions of users try trading every day. And the third thing is we'll be having some exchanges open the BNB chain deposit and withdraw. So you don't need to use Merl chain to withdraw deposits and bridge to BNB chain and bridge back, like all of the stuff. You can just have MetaMask or like OKX wallet, BNB chain network, and you can withdraw from the central exchange. So that's much easier. And when you have some Merl on BNB chain, you can just deposit into the central exchange, which is easy too. So I think we're doing these three things this week. Hopefully we'll see some good news in the future about the partnerships with the BNB chain. But yeah, I think this is just like a start.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I'm going to be able to go to my exchange and withdraw Merl, and I can actually withdraw right to BNB. That's incredible, because BNB is for some reason I think it's just MEXC, but it's like I gotta wait 1,000 Merl blocks to withdraw my Merl in that sense and stuff. So it's a lot quicker with BNB.
It's not,
so that's
it's
incredible.
Not they have to verify whatever, but it's not bad. But BNB is much faster and cheaper, faster, and because it's a chain with like many years history. Of course, it's a much better chain than Merlin, but we are catching up. But so it's going to be much easier. But not 100%. OKX probably. That's another story. But not OKX.
And so my last question about this topic is, so you see this as a mutual benefit, right? Like, how does it benefit like the Merlin chain and kind of, I guess, the BNB users?
Yeah, imagine right now you have Merl token trading there, right? Users getting to know about Bitcoin assets, Bitcoin Layer 2, because they probably never heard of them, or they have some bias or wrong information about them. But if we open the bridge, if we open the gate to BNB chain, what happens next? I don't know. Probably we can launch some rooms on BNB chain. Who knows? Because Runes token, BRC20 tokens, lots of them are Asian users, and they are very familiar with BNB chain. I would say like Chinese traders around me, all of them have a BNB wallet and some BNB in their wallet. So so probably we can do something about Bitcoin NFTs, Bitcoin fungible tokens, memes, BT stuff farm, AI. I don't know, but I think opening the gate is a great thing, and it's a strong signal.
Yeah, I love that. Like people are bridging the Bitcoin Layer 1 assets, and for the people listening in, Merlin chain token is a BRC20, so it's a Bitcoin Layer 1 asset. So this is bridging that over to BNB for the first exposure, really. So you guys are kind of like the pioneers for this. So that's going to be really exciting. All right, we won't keep you too long. Any other updates you want to let the audience know about before we let you go?
Yeah, I think nothing. I think we just keep building the like based on two things we believe. First is about the new technology. The second is about like better liquidity. I know for sure Bitcoin users are like very frustrated with the liquidity on Bitcoin Layer 1, and they want to bridge this to other chains. I think that's a good idea. Bridging to Solana, to BNB chain, that's a great idea. But I think bridging is not the only thing. Because you're bridging from Runes to Solana, people from there, they don't trade this. So I think like not only the idea about bridging, but about the partnerships, about sharing liquidity. Because if you're only bridging there, why people buy your stuff? Basically, they're pumping your back. They're spending their BNB to pump your back, which is insane because they have billions of meme tokens on BNB chain, right? Or on Solana. Like I bought some Solana like last weekend, and I made a fortune. But if you have BRC20 on Solana, I won't buy. Like if I believe this, I will just buy this, from Bitcoin Layer 1, right? So I think if the market is coming back, I think the future is very bright. And thank you guys for having a show every day and stuff. And see you guys next week.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
See you, Jeff.
We'll talk to you soon.
Man. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Incredible. I mean, he's like the busiest man I ever met, right? And he's doing a 3-night repeat all-nighter with his team in his
slumber
apartment,
party.
making sure.
Slumber party meeting.
I don't know if they're gonna sleep. I don't think any slumber is gonna be happening in that apartment. I think he's gonna have a bunch of laptops on the table. I can picture it. A bunch of laptops on the table, like 9 guys standing like well, just watching Jeff kind of do his thing, his work, and then just really kind of building and putting a foundation together. And I think that's what Jeff's really good at. I think Jeff's really good. Like he's really good at putting a team together and really kind of working with that team to make sure every structure of that team is fulfilling their objectives, right? And I think that's what a good leader and someone who has experience being a CEO of 100, I think what he had thousands of employees at one point, right? For his company, 3,000 employees, like,
or more.
so having that experience and putting that to Merle, that's why we're partnering with Merle. That's why we're so bullish on what these guys are building, and we practically begged for a partnership just because we truly believe in what these guys are building and truly believe that when it's time to go, Jeff's going to be one of the first, especially in the Bitcoin ecosystem, really kind of push that narrative forward. And he's a Bitcoin guy. He's a Bitcoin layer one asset guy. He's built, a lot of different projects in the ecosystem already, and he's continuing to do that. So you guys can be bearish for what happened last year, whatever, nothing really was good anyway. But if you guys are bearish now on Merlin, I think you should look at yourself in the mirror, and maybe you got what is it, Trump disrangement syndrome, but like Merlin disranged
TDS, MDS,
but MDS, Merlin deranged syndrome. So
yeah. I mean, the biggest underrated part was the fact that like he was a CEO of a multi-million-dollar company that he sold for a lot. Success. The crypto's not easy to have success in, man. As especially a chain. I mean, imagine the stress of that. But the determination of a owner of a company that was the CEO at the same time, that's the best combination. If you're the owner and CEO sometimes they can kind of manage from company to company. They just have that good kind of reputation. But if you're owner / CEO like Elon, that kind of thing, to me, that shows determination, grit, especially if you have success. And that's why we do trust in what he has in the future coming, and it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, man, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about kind of putting also like Bitcoin assets, right? Like in different environments, because it's a opportunity to educate as well, and stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, man. I got a few more things if that's cool. You can run through them real quickly. All right. So we had a tweet earlier from Bob Bodley. He basically said, "Hello, everyone. We're still in the trenches, building like crazy. Tons of work going on behind the scenes. So we do know that Bob is potentially going to be adding some runes, right? And we've actually uncovered something that we don't know is everyone even knows about. But if you go to, let's just say Shizzy, right, and then you go to deposit, all right, this pops up here." And then it comes up, you have these tokens right here available for you to deposit, right? Deposit. And let's see what happens when you put in the word DOG. Boom. Right down the bottom there, a little friendly little dog pops up. It says dog here. And so potentially, I doubt it's available right now, but this is coming. And dog's going to be depositable on Odin really, really soon. Again, taking layer one assets to other places. Odin is doing that. How do you feel about potentially layer one runes coming to Odin?
So I think there's gonna be like it's smart that he's doing dog first. I saw a little bit dog on there, got excited, but dog itself is the OG, right? So it has.
Well, you can already deposit BitDog.
Yeah. I'm just saying I saw the ticker.
Oh, okay.
But 100,000 users. So I think this is very strategic to do them first, and I think it was smart because if you were to do all OG runes at the same time, like the popular ones, even like I just feel like that would be, even if you add like liquidity and stuff, like you could have a rush of people coming over and just trying to swap out for liquidity. But dog itself is a good start because they have this dog army that will literally go all over Twitter and be like, hey, now you can buy dog on Odin.fund. Now you're onboarding more users, right? So that's, I think, what the goal is here. And eventually you'll get like $1 billion cat and pups on there, which I think will be really, really good as well. But, let's see how it goes with dog first. And then, if it does onboard more users, because that's going to be the goal here for Bob to do this.
Yeah, 100%. And we're both dog holders, right? So depositing. Are you going to deposit your dog? I don't know if I will deposit mine.
I don't know. Only like I told you I thought about like the liquidity side, but like then I don't want to sell half of my dog down for Bitcoin and all that stuff. But there will be people that do that just because they want to help the cause, you know what I mean, and stuff, which is that's solid of them, you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, it's interesting because like last cycle we weren't really talking about this kind of stuff, and yes, I wasn't as involved with the whole crypto space as I am now, doing a show Monday through Friday, all that stuff. But I don't remember a bunch of bridging and trying to do, obviously you could bridge certain tokens that were like very well established, but it wasn't like this huge concentrated effort, which I feel like is happening with Bitcoin assets right now, right? Like they're just like, people want in the Bitcoin ecosystem for other people to know about them, to be able to have access to them and stuff. So let's see. I think it's a great experiment, at least to, to see what the reaction is going to be.
Yeah, I agree. Is this more bullish for Dog or is this more bullish for Odin?
I think it's probably more bullish for Odin because they have an opportunity to onboard users here. Right. And, is it bullish for Dog? Sure, because like you have an easy way to get in and out. But I think what's bullish for Dog is if they continue this. I know people will say, well, like, look at the Solana thing. It didn't do a huge thing. You have to also remember like market sentiment is a part of it too, But like when market sentiment was good, like Dog could kind of cap out at like that $1 billion market cap. Let's see what happens once its footprint is everywhere and it's being pushed hard by the market, and to see if it can compete with like, the Solana meme coins and stuff like that. Because what we've seen is there's been one or two really bullish points for Dog Over the Moon, maybe three, to where it got to that $1 billion mark and it couldn't keep going. Like it just stopped there and it retraced. So, we'll see what happens, now that it's going to be in other places that's more accessible to other people that don't use layer 1 Bitcoin.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I would 100% agree with you. Oh yeah, I think this is really bullish for Odin. And then bringing Dog to Odin. I mean, they're bringing eventually 90,000 holders, right? And you could probably argue with me and say, 70,000 of those aren't going to move, but that 20,000 users. I mean, that's monstrous for.
That's double for that. I think that's double of what they have right now over there. So
yeah, so we'll see. All right. And then a couple more things here. So Saturn, they actually had a tweet today that said we're currently experiencing degraded performance on testnet 4, which is causing on inconsistent user experience on Saturn. So I've noticed this happen multiple times, man. I'm a little worried about Arch. Talk me off the ledge here. Tell me that everything's gonna be fine.
Well, I do know Saturn's kind of format is a bit more complex because they are, finalizing on Bitcoin with a lot of they want to be as native as possible. And you could tell that by their posts on X and stuff talking about, native DeFi, Bitcoin DeFi and stuff like that. So they're running kind of two different processes, it seems like, right? One, with the SVM side, to where like a lot of these Lightning transactions, not Bitcoin Lightning, I mean like speed, fast is happening, right? And then after that, like transactions are being sent to Bitcoin layer 1, right? And so I think there's sometimes where things get congested, or there's issues they're running into, because you're not really hearing that kind of stuff with like FunkyBit. And I think FunkyBit's doing the opposite. They're just focused more on the SVM side, right? And so they're a lot more smooth and stuff, is my understanding at least. But yeah, once, I think Saturn is a really good testing kind of DEX though, because like once they get that down, then I think you get that system down. You know what I mean? Of being able to, utilize the SVM side a little bit that they utilize, and then really kind of, send all those transactions to Bitcoin layer 1, because then that system is down, and then other builders can utilize that if they want. But Saturn's kind of like it's like the what do they call it? The dang it, I forgot what it's called. Anyways, the pilot, right? It's like the pilot test. So.
Yeah, 100%. And the way Saturn is doing it is different than some of the other builders building there. Saturn wants to take all the transactions every block. So if you do it, right now, the next block potentially you're going to be pushed through. right? And other builders, because what's happening with Arch is you're rolling up the transactions and you're putting them all into one block. So, but they want to go block by block. Some other ones might want to do every 10 blocks, every 20 blocks, right? Because that would just be easier performance wise to make sure that everything is being done correctly and can be audited. The way Saturn is doing it, they're really kind of pushing this one block thing. So it's very if Saturn and Arch can get this going, if Saturn and Arch can be successful at this, they are completely changing the game. What they're trying to achieve is some people would call almost impossible, but they're actually pushing the boundaries here and potentially can do this. If anyone can do it, I think it's Arch and Saturn, especially with the funding behind Arch and the builders that Saturn has.
Yep, I agree with that. I mean, they have a really solid team, and they work very close with their builders. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I have confidence in them. We got a couple comments in the chat.
Yeah.
Dr. Min Big Noodle says, "Meow,
Ooh.
Chinese here. Welcome to the show. We always welcome our Chinese community." But yep, we had a couple comments in there, and just wanted to read those.
So Arch Network, they had a tweet too. There's attention at Archnauts. It's hard to say. A snapshot is incoming. So if you participated on Arch Network, doing the the preseason stuff, you had to go like, subscribe to stuff, like some tweets, follow their partners. And if you've done all that stuff, you're gonna get a nice airdrop potentially in the future. They're doing their first snapshot here, but if even if you haven't been someone who participated, you should definitely check out arch.network and really start participating. They're actually going to a new version of their website. Right now, it's mainly like this astronaut type of thing, and they're going to actually get it more professional look as they kind of step into the next stages of their building process. So definitely, guys, if you haven't already, you should definitely try and get this airdrop. This is one of the tokens, one of the few tokens that I'm really looking forward to potentially holding in my portfolio.
Yep, excited about that.
All right, the last thing here is our good friends over at Fluid. Fluid Tokens on Bitcoin has successfully integrated BitVM on Bitcoin. So we do know there's a bunch of projects trying to do BitVM. We know a new bit with our good friend Norbert, who we talk to every Thursday, on the in Fonzie's group on Ordinal Hive, and then we know there's Citrus and there's a couple other ones trying to push the BitVM into their protocol, and Fluid has successfully done it. They're going to be using this technology to bridge runes. Dog again. Dog's going to be on Cardano, guys. They're going to be actually doing that they're going to be the bridge to bring Dog to Cardano. And you got to remember, they have the FLDT token. And by me staking my pass, and I've been staking for the last 2 months, I'm going to be actually earning the FLDT rune. That's backed 1-to-1. So they are in an area now where they're going to be able to successfully bridge the FLDT token back and forth, right? Which is awesome because now we're going to be able to take our dog, our pups, and actually take them to Cardano and do Cardano DeFi, stuff that's already built, stuff that's already working in a very successful manner. That's going to be fun. Are you bullish on potentially taking your assets to Cardano, participating in DeFi with them?
Possibly. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of wait and see which areas you can benefit the most from. You're right. If they have like any type of like staking that has a solid reward, I don't want the DEX reward necessarily. Maybe if it's a solid DEX that's been there for a long time or something. Yeah, I mean, if that's what they give you, then I'd do that. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm not surprised. It's funny because like I put on their post underneath, I said Fluid, the best team working on Bitcoin layer 1, and then Robin from Liquidity and put the big eyes under my comment. I mean, like it's close, but I still gotta go with Fluid. Now, Liquidium's crushing it too. You know, we love Robin and that team. It's just I feel like with Fluid, man, they're just constantly looking to expand, innovate and so it's going to be exciting to see how what else they do with this, right? To really bring the bridging to this trust minimized state that Nubit's trying to do. The thing about like I feel like with Raul and his team is they code for fun. I feel like they literally like is just like sitting there like for their fun time and their work time. So it's always like they're just really passionate about it, and so they're constantly finding new ways to do things, and they're just like UTXO wizards But yeah, it's exciting to see this, with one of our partners being able to do this. So.
Yeah, 100%. Like I put Raul in a Telegram chat with somebody, another builder from a different ecosystem, and they're in there just like chopping it up, talking code all day long, and it's awesome to see that these guys love what they do. And if you love what you do, you never actually work a day, right? So these guys, like you said, they're not working. This is what they do for fun, and it's absolutely, you kind of see that in the progression. When people love what they do, their businesses are really, really successful. And I think the Fluid team and the Fluid projects that they're building, and they're building for layer 1 Bitcoin, they're building that staking mechanism that's absolutely phenomenal that lots of teams are actually using and trying to get involved with. So potentially DeFi on layer 1 Bitcoin. These guys have every opportunity to do that, and now they're experimenting with BitVM and potentially could do stuff with that as well in other aspects of their business. So really curious what they build next. But guys, that's our show for you guys today. An hour and 40 minutes, 195 people in your live with us on YouTube and X. And then obviously all the people on Abstract watching, all the people on Rumble watching, Twitch, Spotify later when we upload this. We appreciate you guys to the fullest, and keep rocking with us. We promise you we're going to lead you to the promised land of success, whether that's, with the tokens or just kind of grinding it out with us. Appreciate every single one of you guys.
Yep. All right. Yes, definitely. Like Shizzy said, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. Without y'all, we couldn't do this every day, and we want to let you know how appreciative we are. And if you could check out our partners, we would greatly appreciate that, as well as they are kind of the second component that allows us to do what we love to do, and that's bring information to you guys, research for you guys to help you along your journey with crypto and Bitcoin. So Emblem Vault's going to be the interoperability tooling for Bitcoin Layer 1 assets, most specifically Ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your Ordinals from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Merlin Chain to Base to Abstract to multiple different environments. And you're going to be able to use their AI agent Hustle to help you do that. All you're going to have to do eventually is prompt him, and he's going to be able to vault those items for you on your behalf. And he can also make trades for you too. It's very fun. I've been playing with him, experimenting and stuff like that. And don't forget, they have a Rune TGE in September. So you can go to emblem.vision to learn all about that. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet, some Bitcoin in there, and 6 Bitcoin blocks, and you can start placing bets on their markets right away. They have a new Blitz bet that's a 10-minute bet. You have 10 minutes to really select if you want to go up or down for Bitcoin, BNB, or Solana. You can choose, and then an additional 10 minutes to see if you were correct or wrong on that. And it pays you out instantly if you win. And of course, if you lose, you lose. But so just be responsible with it. It's very fun. And then they have regular bets as well. So you can go check out their markets. And very, very soon, they're going to have the create your own markets, which you can earn up to 1.5% on. The total volumes can be exciting. These guys are continually building. They are kind of going through a little bit of a transition period, but it has nothing to do with like pivoting or anything like that. They're just finalizing some big things here. So just look out for them. You can learn more at betbtc.win. And Artura Finance is the leverage and perps DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to trade synthetic Bitcoin fungibles such as Sats, Ordi, Doggo to the Moon, possibly Merle, tokens like that. And then eventually you'll be able to trade some of the popular ones outside of the ecosystem like XRP and Tau, stuff like that. They will also add a passive way for you guys to earn by adding to the liquidity pool vaults. That kind of helps the whole ecosystem, so you earn back by doing that. We are going to have a roundtable recording that you're going to be able to pick the brains from some of these, traders and stuff that we've gathered. So that's going to be really fun. You can learn all about Artura at artura.finance. And Fluid tokens, we just went over these guys, the UTXO wizard devs of the Bitcoin and Cardano ecosystems. They were the first to offer retail staking vaults to the Bitcoin retail user. If you are a Ordinal collection founder or you etched a rune with an established community, you can get a staking vault set up for you and your community. All you got to do is reach out to Raul and he'll get you hooked up. And then also, if you're in the Pep Odin, or the Sparks community, you can actually go stake right now your Odin runes because they have opened up vaults for their community there. There should be some more coming as well. You can learn more about Fluid at fluidtokens.com. And Merlin Chain, your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you are a retail user and you want to swap for DOG go to the moon, this is another place that DOG has been placed, right? So you can go to merlinswap.org. They have a really strong liquidity pool there, and you can swap for your Merlin token or your wrapped Bitcoin for DOG go to the moon. Also, if you do hold Merlin tokens, you can earn 15% APR to secure the chain, to help secure the chain. And they're going to add Bitcoin as well. And we'll get you the APR as soon as that information comes out. Make sure you're staying up to date with these guys, man. They're constantly building, they're improving. There's going to be a lot of killer dApps that's coming, in my opinion, to their chain. So stay tuned for that. We'll update you guys as soon as we get the information for you. And lastly, don't forget about our integrated partners in Foxy AI, building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, and their first-person shooter game called Cypher Striker, which will be live streaming tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. Everybody's invited to play. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet. And then, or I think they also accept Phantom and maybe MetaMask as well. You can check, though. We'll drop the link to the site tomorrow. And then so you guys have that. But yeah, so super exciting stuff. It's called Cypher Striker. All you'll have to do is choose a clan, and then we can start playing right away at 3 p.m. Eastern. And Ordinal Hive is your aggregator Ordinal marketplace for Bitcoin layer 1 and layer 2. Cheapest ordinals around will be on Ordinal Hive, and they have amazing trader tools as well, such as like live mempool insights, so you can grab something that somebody mispriced or something. I know that sucks for the person that mispriced it, but you snooze, you lose on that, right? You got to pay attention. That's your lesson. And so they have tools like that to where you can grab something for cheap if it's mispriced in there. And so we thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. And real quick, hit up my boy Kai Effect. Kai, man, we appreciate you, sir. You are an absolute legend, man. You mean so much to us, and thank you for being part of our community, man, for sure. And then Mo Chain says, "What's up, boys? What's your take on iConfucius, the AI agent living on Odin and ICP? I didn't know he was an AI agent, but he's betting big on that token. I didn't know it. Confucius was an AI.
Yeah, actually, I did hear that from when I was in the ICP Odin chat or space. Someone did bring that up, that they're supposedly working on some sort of AI mechanism with it.
Interesting. All right. Great job on that, man. And if you guys wouldn't mind checking out OnChain Revolution.io, we have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and caught up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have the #1 VPN for 70% off, guys. Make sure if you guys get a VPN. Right. First off, make sure every single person that listens to the show, I beg you to go out and get a VPN. There's no reason for anyone to kind of see your IP address. Like yesterday, I had to log into my Yahoo for the first time because I was doing a fantasy baseball thing, and I got a notification, and I didn't have my VPN on, and it told me my exact address. And I was like, well, it told me my location. It was like, hey, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, there was a login to your account. And I was like, whoa, don't like that. You don't like that at all, Yahoo. So I put my VPN on, and then it said, oh, you have an account from Switzerland. And I said, yeah, that's me. And then, so everyone, guys, every time you go to a website, anytime you log in anywhere, they get your address. And being in crypto, just safety first, right? VPNs are very legal, right? So get a NordVPN if you can. It's $3 a month. But like I said, there is free ones out there. Just get one, period. Just get a VPN. And then if you guys are going to a Bitcoin in Las Vegas, it's going to be crazy. Absolutely nuts. Get the tickets through us, though, guys. And get them as soon as possible. Do not wait till May. If you wait till May, these ticket prices are going to be so expensive. Let's actually take a look at the price of these things because they are going up. I think the last time we checked, it was like $1,400 for the industry pass. Okay. Industry pass now is $1,529. Festival pass is $458, guys. And if you pay in Bitcoin, you get 20% off coupon as well. So the whale pass is $8,000. We saw these get as high as $20,000 in Nashville. I'm sure they're going to go that high again. And then you can get a Bitcoin week pass after party bundle for $800 there. But this is the one you want, in my opinion, if you can afford it. This one was absolutely insane. You get the first day. The first day was like easily the best, right?
Yeah, it was fun. It is slower, but you get to, stop and say hi to everybody, that and people, you get to meet some new vendors and stuff, right? That's the biggest part for us as a show, learning about, people building in the space.
100%. And we do have a merch store there too. You can get some of the best merch in all of crypto. Check everything out at onchainrevolution.io. And guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. And on that note,
peace.
OnChain, 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 OnChain. OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go. Bitcoin controlling. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear traps. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed, gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.